Okay, a little wall practice. Heat of the summer. I'm going to go through a concept, a term, proprioception. What is proprioception? Well, it's a few things, but it's kind of the science of knowing where the racket head is in relation to your palm, or your knuckles, or your hand. It's the study, the understanding of this instrument in my hand is an extension of my hand. So, how do you improve proprioception? Well, one way to do that is to do what I'm doing right here. Hitting against the wall starts to develop my spatial awareness of how far the ball is away from me. Am I in a good pathway to the ball? Is my racket head in a good pathway to the ball? When I have good proprioception, I have an understanding of where the racket head is. Well, that wasn't too good. Raw and unedited. Trick shots are not easy, people. There we go. Nope. So, proprioception. Let's break it down. If the racket is a clock face, 6, 12, 9, 3, I need to know where those coordinates are. As I draw the racket behind me, I need to know that the crown of the racket, midnight, is elevated a little bit. And if I decide to go for a low ball and let the ball dip, now the crown of the racket dips. I need to know where that is. I need to know where's the crown of the racket. If I want to apply topspin, I want to strike the ball from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. I want to scrape this ball over those main strings and envelop it and see how many strings I can use to bite into the ball and strike it from 9 to 3. I therefore have to be lined up properly to allow that free swing, that fanning motion, where I'm going to fan through the ball. I'm going to bite the strings through the ball. If I want to hit some underspin, I'm going to caress the ball from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. I'm going to move through the shot, caressing it 9 to 3. That'll impart a little bit of underspin. Okay? Some basic concepts, but to do that, I have to have some decent proprioception so that the racket is on a nice flight path to the ball, on a clean flight path to the ball leading up to the hit. I want to have a long hitting window. And if I have too much twisting and too much lurching and too much loading the gun to unleash fury on the ball, I risk having the racket go offline. That results in these shank shots off the rim of the racket. So proprioception. Start getting the habit of supporting the racket head on most of your shots down low. On occasion, you got to let it dip. Okay? On high balls, the crown of the racket might be up a little bit so that you're coming through in this fashion. Okay? I'm controlling the flight path of the ball by how I control the racket face. I can take my racket face toward my target. The tennis court is a long rectangle, like a long hallway. I need my swing to match that hallway, not spin around my body like a merry-go-round. In racquetball and some other racket sports, you can be late and hit the side wall, hit it down the first baseline, You can be on time and hit it straight ahead, or you can be early and pull it to the third baseline or to the side near the back wall, the left wall for a right-hander in racquetball. So that swing matches the shape of the court. Well, the tennis court is a long hallway. You need your strings going on the same side of your body up the hallway for a long time. People get confused in the modern day swing mechanics, and they get too much upper body torsion. You can use that to get torque and load and rip, but if you don't have that well timed and you're learning it prematurely with bad timing, because you're in a clinic with 14 people and the ball's being fed out and energy's being spit out to say go harder, go faster, swing, take a cut at it, things that are not necessarily apropos to what your current stage of development is in your game. People want a shortcut. And this game, one of the beautiful things about it is it's filled with details. And details take time. I love racquetball or pickleball, but you can learn how to play pickleball in 14 minutes. That's great. A lot of people play pickleball because it's easy to play. But a little bit of purposeful forced suffering is a bit of a lost philosophical approach to life. Suffering, we want to avoid suffering and pain. We'd rather not go through a catastrophic, painful thing and then have to overcome it. But isn't it nice if you can choose your suffering to help you grow? And that's what's cool about tennis. You got to suffer a little bit to get some proprioception, to know where the racket head is. It takes a few hours, like 10,000 hours. But practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. If I practice sloppy, I play sloppy. So take breaks, especially in the heat of the summer like this. We don't need the sirens ringing for Coach Kirk. I push myself. I know how hard to push. Right? It's about enhancing the skill, sharpening the skill at my age for the senior player, for the seasoned player, well seasoned. I know how much fitness I need to do to play well, to give me strength and endurance, and I'm working on that stuff in incremental steps. I'm not trying to go have a 44-inch vertical leap and bound up and do crazy things. Eventually I'll get there. This is a great sport. There's so much to work on, so much to help you improve in your fitness and your nutrition, and the things you got to do leading up to a match that matters to you so that you can play well. So many things you can do on the wall to get good. Because good, better, best. Never let it rest until good gets better and better gets best. Good morning. I love this place. In the mornings, nobody's out here. Because getting up early in the morning is closely related to getting up in the world. Getting up early in the morning is closely related to getting up in your game. Because when you're not practicing, you know what your competition's doing? Practicing. I stole that quote from Ivan Lendl, former #1 Czechoslovakian player. A bit of a machine back in the 80s. He digested a nutritional program that was all about carbo loading by a guy named Dr. Robert Haas. He wrote a book called Eat to Win. And because he and Martina Navratilova were the epitome of fitness back then, Eastern Bloc country, trained like Drago against Rocky, put in 10,000 hours of bicycle running, calisthenics. That's just crazy cool stuff. But at my age, that's helpful, but you don't want to be maniacal about it. There's too many guys in my age bracket that just get flat tires. They pull an Achilles tendon, snap a tendon. I've been out here for about an hour and a half. It's warm. Just wanted to share a couple of ideas. Proprioception. Get the crown of the racket up above your wrist. That'll help you. Get up on the balls of the feet. That'll help your game. It'll help your footwork, which will help your swing. Whew. Morning.
Still morning?
Well,
Yes, 4 minutes.
I started in the morning. All right, I can't stay out here too long. I got some afternoon work to do with some pupils. Proprioception helps with half volleys, forecourt work, knowing where the racket head is. Don't need much backswing for this exercise. My feet need to be like shock absorbers, though, so I can adjust to the little undulations and the funky bounces that come off the pebbles. Oh, a little weary. Okay, fellas and gals, get out and play tennis. Thanks for following my Coach Kirk channel. Adios.